If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Fat Joe has been hit with an explosive $20 million lawsuit for allegedly coercing his ex-hype man into thousands of sexual acts. In a graphic 157-page lawsuit, Terrence T.A. Dixon accuses Fat Joe, whose legal name is Joseph Cartagena, of more than a decade of abuse. The details so disturbing that there's a big trigger warning in the red on the first page of that filing. Dixon alleges that in the lawsuit, Cartagena forced him to, quote, humiliating situations, including sex acts, performed under duress and surveillance. Dixon claims he personally witnessed Cartagena engage in sexual relations with girls as young as 15, one of whom Cartagena was allegedly in love with and contemplated leaving his wife for. An attorney for Cartagena says the lawsuit is a blatant act of retaliation. NBC's Stephen Romo is on the story for us. And Stephen, Cartagena initially sued Dixon, and now Dixon is suing Cartagena. Both sides are trading allegations here.
Yeah, a lot of allegations here, but the lawsuit filed today has a lot more graphic content, if you will, Tom. Cartagena actually sued Dixon back in April on allegations that, as a former employee, he was trying to extort him for money. Well, Dixon's suit that was filed today is a lot more than just a typical employment dispute. The complaint does accuse Cartagena of underpaying him, but it goes on with many more allegations, claiming Cartagena would bring women to hotel rooms and make Dixon have sex with them in front of him and others. It also alleges that Cartagena would fly underage girls into the U.S. from Europe and that he paid for plastic surgery for one of them, and claimed that the minors were frequently cut off financially and discarded when they became non-compliant. Now, Cartagena's attorney claiming that those claims in this lawsuit are complete fabrications and lies, and saying, quote, the lawsuit filed by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first. Of course, referencing that lawsuit originally filed back in April, Tom.
So we have another famous rapper being hit with a RICO charge, and we talked about Sean Diddy Combs' trial earlier in the newscast. He's also, of course, being accused of building a criminal empire here, and several of the people connected to this lawsuit have ties to other big cases, including Diddy's.
Yeah, a lot of the players involved have connections to these cases. Joe Tacopina representing Joe Cartagena. Of course, that's Fat Joe. He's also represented a lot of other big clients, including President Donald Trump, A$AP Rocky, and he actually turned down representing Sean Diddy Combs himself. And then we have Tyrone Blackburn there on the right, who is right now representing Dixon, but he is also representing music producer and rapper Lil Rodney in a separate case that is against Diddy. The lawsuit filed by Dixon is a civil RICO case, unlike Diddy's, which, of course, is a criminal RICO case. But there is a lot of crossover in these allegations here, Tom.
It's kind of head-spinning, actually, yeah. Stephen. Thanks very much.
You can't do dirt. You can't do wrong and believe that it's not going to come to light. Here it is. We got Fat Joe's homeboy, his friend of 16 years. Coming out, putting all his business out there. This man is saying that Fat Joe was engaging and making love lotion with kids. This is the worst of the worst. Children, teenagers, to the point that he was so infatuated by this young woman that he was contemplating on leaving his wife, the mother of his children. Cold-blooded demonstration. I'm talking about cold. And like I said in my last video, this was a friend of 16 years. So he gotta know the inner workings of Fat Joe and you know, the things that he liked, the things that he don't like, how he is and stuff like that. Come on. This is his friend. This is his friend that has turned into a victim, or a friend that he has victimized himself. Because the cold-blooded part about this demonstration is this right here. It is the exact same thing that Cassie was demonstrating with P. Diddy. What you mean, hood educated? This right here, a full grown man. He don't look nothing like Cassie. He ain't got the anatomy that Cassie got, or none of that. Allow me to elaborate. Y'all remember in the lawsuit, Cassie initially said that, hey, look, this man right here was flying people in to have sex, and he was forcing me and manipulating me to have sex with these people. In this case, Fat Joe homeboy said that Fat Joe forced him to have sex with 4,000 women. 4,000? Now, I can see if he said, you know, he had me lay down with about 10, 20 girls. 4,000. Now, look. I ain't gonna lie. As men, you know, when it come down to, making love lotion and stuff like that, you know, we like to exaggerate. You know, we like to tell people, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I hit that, and, you know, man, you know, I was hitting that thing so long, man, you know, the sun started coming up, man, you know, I was in it like that there. You know, we do a lot of exaggerating. We throw a lot on it, you know, and be lying knowing it ain't take number 3.5 seconds. You understand? But, you know, we tell our homeboys, yeah, man, I'm talking about, man, she was crawling all off the bed, man. I had to pull her back on. You know, we like to do all that type of stuff. Lying. So, 4,000? Come on, bro. Do y'all know how 4,000 girls look? 4,000. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because it is possible, especially if you on drugs and you ripping and running and stuff like that. But this man saying Fat Joe had him lay down with 4,000. I don't know about that, y'all. I mean, like, how you remember 4,000 people? How you remember that you laid down with 4,000? Yeah, I think he exaggerating. 4,000. All right, look, let me move on. Y'all get what I'm saying, though, right? I mean, come on, bruh. So now, anyway, though, right? He's saying the same thing that Cassie said. He was video camcording him, you know, forcing him, compelling him, manipulating him to have sex with these women. Sometimes when, you know, he'll be like, man, you know, I'm tired, I don't want to do it. He'll say, well, look, man, you got to find your own way home then, because I'm canceling your flight tickets and all that. I ain't giving you nothing. I'm not finna help you. You're going to be sitting here in the desert. Get in there and perform. While Fat Joe watched him. Same thing with Diddy demonstration. Now, what I don't like about this whole thing is this right here. He laid up there with Fat Joe for all that time, knowing that he was having or making love lotion with these children, 3 of them, these teenagers, and he ain't say nothing. He ain't sit up there and say, hey man, you know, hey, check it out, bruh. Like, you know, she too young, bruh. Like, I mean, come on, man, tighten up, playboy. But he sat there, and I gotta be transparent. I mean, when you in the hood and you young like that, you know it's wrong, but at the same time, you know, you be like, man, who cares? That's dude business. I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? You be like, man, dude tripping, man. You might even laugh at him like, man, he tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna do what he gonna do anyway, and she gonna do what she gonna do anyway. But I don't agree with that. I'm talking about, I don't agree with a full-grown man engaging in any type of sexual relations with a girl that is not of age. I don't care. You know, even though it happens, it's not okay. I don't agree with it. But this guy right here is accusing Fat Joe. it sounds so much like Diddy case. I'm almost getting confused. I'm almost like, this dude is confused in Diddy because it sounds like the same thing without the baby oil though. You know, Fat Joe ain't have all that baby. Fat Joe just, hey man, go on up in there, man. He wasn't playing with no baby oil. You know, Diddy, he got a couple dollars, you know. Now let me stop. But yeah. So here it is. This brother right here is saying that, look, Fat Joe cheated him out his money, didn't pay him nothing. He wrote some verses on songs and stuff like that, didn't get his publishing and none of that type of stuff. And now just left him in the desert. Just, hey, I done used you all the way up. I'm not doing shows no more. Get out my face. And we got to understand something. A lot of these rappers treat people that way. And when people are young and don't understand the value of the information that they got stored in their memory bank, they just go home with their head down. Oh man, you know, cold-blooded. But once they get to thinking, oh, wait a minute, hold on. And so they are saying that Fat Joe filed a lawsuit against him because Fat Joe was saying that he was trying to extort him. But what it appears to be that dude was coming for his bread. Like, man, look, hit my hand. You know you owe me, bruh. Put it right here. You know you owe me. If you don't put it right here, I'm finna tell all your business, bro. I'm finna put it out there. I've been around you for 16 years. Put it right here. Low down, dirty, Fat Joe, just like Diddy. Man, I ain't giving you nothing, man. Get out my face. All right, okay. I tried to tell you, but now I got to put it out there. Now I got to put these peoples in the business. Now I'm filing lawsuits. Now your name all over the place for the wrong things because you're supposed to be a top-notch gangster. Now, I believe that this case is going to end up just like P. Diddy case. The only difference in this case right here is that he probably ain't going to get no money until the end. What you mean, hood educated? What you talking about? Look, y'all remember P. Diddy's case started out as a civil suit. After the civil suit, then it went to a criminal. And in this demonstration right here, it can turn into a criminal case. Just like Diddy case. Why? Because they got murder for hire in there. They got Fat Joe talking about, you know, having them assault people, beat people up. They flying young minor children in to engage in making that love lotion. Come on. Not only that, somehow they got a phone call or a recording or something like that with Fat Joe Terror Squad members talking about trying to get one Terror Squad member try to set what's the brother named Terrence T.A. Dixon. They trying to get him set up. They got some type of recording, y'all. I think it's a phone recording or one of them recorded, you know, each other talking on the phone, or it's a wiretap or something like that. But they got, what's dude named Pistol Pete, one of them Terror Squad members. They got him on the phone trying to tell another Terror Squad member to set up T.A. Dude like, nah, man, I'm not finna set him up, man. Nah, I'm not doing that. And he telling him like, man, look, you don't even know T.A. like that. T.A. been with Fat Joe way before you even came around, Pistol Pete. That's what the other brother is telling Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete is letting him know, hey, look, man, my loyalty is with Fat Joe, man. Set dude out. Fat Joe want him. We want him. Set him out. Dude don't do it. Dude stand firm and he don't do it. So here it is, like it rings true. I'm talking about like here, and this is what the feds do. Breadcrumbs. Oh. He tried to get dude whooped. He tried to get dude beat on, killed, stabbed, all that. So now that right there corroborates what's going on with the 50 Cent thing. That corroborates what's going on with the DMX thing. That corroborates what's going on with the Mac Main thing. Because we have it here, video recorded with him saying that, hey, Fat Joe want dude to get dealt with. I'm telling you. This demonstration right here might end up in the criminal courts. the federal criminal courts, just like Diddy demonstration, because it has all the elements. And not only that, they calling this demonstration a RICO, a civil RICO. I ain't never heard of it, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't never heard of a civil RICO case. But I guess it is, because that's what they call in this case against Fat Joe. So it's almost like they laying it out there for the prosecution. It almost like they laying it out there for the government to say, hey, look, this dude right here committed all these crimes. Sex trafficking, coercion, manipulation, all up to about murder for hire, all that. He's doing all this. Y'all see these crimes he's committing? Come on, come and get him. They gonna need other people, because if they find them girls, it's over with, Fat Joe. If this brother is telling the truth about them 3 young girls that he's saying that Fat Joe was, touching on, and he ain't had no business, making love lotion with these girls, it's over. Because now that it's out there, y'all got to believe that these girls is like, oh, hey, Fat Joe, you remember me? Yeah, how you doing? Hey, I need some money, because these people come messing with me. I'm going to tell them everything. Yeah. Yep. So here go my route number, my account number. Lay it up in there. Yeah. And if you don't, I'll be on the stand pointing you out, letting everybody in the world know that, yeah, when I was 15, I was madly in love with him. How old was he at the time? He was 34 years old. If they find them girls, because if it turned into a criminal case, you best to believe they gonna be digging where they at. Dude giving names. One girl named Shaquita. He giving names. Yeah. They find them girls. And look, allow me to say this right here, because I'm about to depart from this whole demonstration, because it's just madness. But this right here goes to show a lot of you young brothers and sisters that when you committing crimes, it's going to come to the light of day one day. When you committing crimes with somebody that you thinking your friend, you've been with this person for 16 years, and you make them mad and you don't do what they want you to do, they just start telling everything. Putting all your business out there. All of it. But at the same time, I gotta be 100. I gotta blame Fat Joe. I got to. You know what type of low down dirty dog you is. You know you was out there demonstrating these measures. When that man asked you for some money and you dogged him too, and that's supposed to be your partner for 16 years, and you dog him out, and so when he finally get enough balls to come and confront you and say, hey man, I think you owe me some bread, you tell him, man, get on out my face like that, you can't be mad at him. You can't be mad at him. What, he supposed to be a loyal fool? Is that what you thinking? You thinking people supposed to be blindly loyal? No, those days is over where people were just, blind, just, I'm loyal, man, it happened, I don't care, it was on me, Those days is over with. No, those days is done. People ain't just blindly loyal no more. No, it's like I'm loyal to a certain point. I'm not gonna be no loyal dummy. I'm not finna let you disrespect my loyalty. I'm not finna allow you to lower my loyalty. I'm not finna allow you to do that. No, loyalty is priceless. Anybody that's in the streets or anybody that's in any type of business or relationship, you understand that loyalty is priceless. And so when you try to abuse somebody's loyalty, oh man, come on, man. I mean, I can't blame TA. I can't blame him. Like, come on, man. Like, man, hit the man hand. That's all the man wanted. But you want to play. Now look. Now you got to be sitting up here worried about, is this thing going to turn from a civil to a criminal? Because now ain't no, hey man, let's keep it quiet. Let's pay and keep people shut up and all. No, ain't none of that. See, some people is intelligent enough to be like, hey man, I'm not even going to let it get that far. To even get into court, to be a lawsuit or none of that. What you want? Yep, I did wrong. I know what I did. How much? What's going on? Look, here. Be quiet. Just like this here. But these guys right here want to be low down dirty dogs, and now it's coming back to bite them in their ass. And they deserve every single last one of them bites. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.